According to multiple reports, Manchester United star Bruno Fernandes is seriously considering a move to Saudi outfit Al Hilal FC. Thoughts? So you've seen the title where I say Manchester United have to sell Bruno Fernandes this summer, and to be honest, that was absolutely clickbait. No, it wasn't, because honestly speaking, I believe that Manchester United have to sell Bruno Fernandes this season, because I'm a Manchester United fan myself. Obviously, get into the comments, tell me what you think. But in this video, I'll be breaking down why I think Manchester United need to sell Bruno Fernandes, not only because of what it does for us financially, but I personally believe that is the best thing for Bruno Fernandes' career. And I'll discuss that in a bit. For you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Jeffrey. I'm a Manchester United fan. I've been a Manchester United fan for life. And I host this podcast with my friend Casey. It's the Beyond 90-minute podcast. We talk about what's happening in football, we react to matches, we do challenges, we do everything. So he's not here today, and ultimately this is like my third video in a row without him. So yeah, if you guys want me to start my own channel at some point, let me know, and I'll be open to that. Let me know if you guys enjoy this. Right, so we put up a video before this, so if you all don't mind, you can check it out after. But the main business, Bruno Fernandes. So ultimately, it's Friday, right? So we don't even record on Fridays. We record on Mondays and upload on Tuesdays. But when this news broke, I just thought like I had to come out here and say something, because it's a story that has divided the Manchester United fan base a lot, because a lot of like avid, like die-hard Bruno fans are like, absolutely no, we can't sell Bruno. You have other people that are saying Manchester United should sell Bruno because they are Bruno haters, right? And then you have people like me who are more like in the middle, and they're like, I love Bruno, right? But we need money. And if you have money if you're getting offered 100 million for a 31-year-old, shouldn't you take it? That's the way I look at it. So you know what? First things first. Let's tackle the people that say Manchester United should not sell Bruno because Manchester United be without Bruno. Ultimately, I understand it, right? Bruno he had a good season this year, right? But what a lot of people don't realize is that, let's cast our minds back to before January. A lot of us were saying Bruno Fernandes wasn't playing well, but from January to May, he turned off for us, right? Unfortunately, he didn't turn up in that final. And the way I look at it is, we can't have a situation where we lost the Europa League final and there are no repercussions for that. Because check the report, after we lost that final, 200 people lost their jobs. So I don't subscribe to the fact that any single player should be unsellable. After that season, what a terrible season. We even made it worse by losing to this in this post-season friendly match. I'm of the belief that absolutely nobody in that squad is safe. I'm a Manchester United fan. I love this club. I've loved this club for years, and I'll probably support this club to the day that I breathe my final breath. Yes, but do I look at it? There's no player that they could sell now, apart from probably Lenny Euro now, that make me go, no, we can't do that. Because there are repercussions for this. And unfortunately, Bruno isn't spared from any of that. Because I know Bruno played well, but winning the Europa League final would have changed that season. But we didn't win it. We didn't win it. So I get it. I think Bruno had I don't have the stats right here, but I know he had a lot of goal contributions this season. I think we're having 38, 39 goal contributions this season. And take that away, do we get relegated? I personally don't think so. But I wouldn't be naive enough to say we reach Europa League final without Bruno. No, because Bruno has probably been our best player this season. I agree. But, and it's always a but. There's always a but. We need a rebuild, guys. This is the lowest Manchester United has been. I understand a lot of fans love Bruno. Bruno is the heart of this club. What do we even look without Bruno? What does the club look like? Do we get worse? But ultimately, the question is, can we even get any worse? This is our lowest point total in history. Yes, it's a terrible season. So how much lower can we actually get? Right. And then to the people that don't like Bruno, we are saying, let's just sell Bruno because Bruno isn't even as good as people think he is. Where do I stand on that? You know what? I actually understand three parts because I get it. Because if you actually look at Amorims' system, right, with the 2 number 6s and 2 number 10s, Bruno is a number 10, but he's not Amorims' type of number 10. Because cast your minds back, football people, to Sporting. By the way, you also let me know because I've had some complaints about the audio that it echoes a bit. So if you guys have any suggestions on how to fix that, please let me know. I'll be open to hearing that. But I'm using two mics. I have this one. So I'll see which one works best, and then still let me know in the comments anyway. But back to what I was saying. Cast your mind to Amorims sporting system. Those two number 10s he plays behind the striker must be very, very pacey. It cast your mind to Trencao. He likes putting pacey wingers there. That's literally how people play with that system. A Trencao type of player, a Cunha type of player, which Manchester United just bought. So Bruno isn't that, right? So Bruno is 6. I think Bruno can be a 6 in some games. You've seen it work very well when we're playing teams that like to lesser. I won't even say lesser teams, but it has worked against some teams. But when you have a 3-man midfield, we struggle. A 3-man midfield where you see them very, very solid, very, very physical. We struggle. We saw it against Tottenham in the Europa League final. So if that's the case, Bruno can't play in the 6 either. So we have a situation where he's our best player, but he doesn't necessarily fit into our system. It's crazy. It is crazy because Bruno is a number 10 in a 4-3-3 because if in that system, your 10 doesn't necessarily need to be the most mobile, it doesn't need to be the most fast. It doesn't need to be fastest. Cast your mind to De Bruyne, cast your mind to Odegaard, all those sorts of number 10s. They're not pacey. They have the brain, a footballing brain, which Bruno has, excellent football brain. But when we're playing with a 3-4-3 system, those two number 10s in behind the striker need to be pacey. And Bruno isn't that. We've seen Bruno play in that position sometimes, but a lot of times we see him drifting back into the midfield because he's not suitable for that system. And he's not suitable to play the 6. So where does Bruno actually fit in? Let me know, what do you think Bruno's best position is in this system? Because I personally still think he's going to stay. And I feel that's going to be an issue going forward next year. Because reports are that, we bought Cunha, right? Let's say we buy Amorims, so hopefully Manchester United buy Amorims. If you put Cunha and Amorims at the number 10 positions, right? And you put Bruno in with Ugarte, put Bruno in with Casemiro, it's not good enough defensively. No, it isn't. And we saw it against Spurs. We get exposed when we do that. Now, to my side of it, to my side where the third group of people that go, we love Bruno. Bruno has been an excellent servant for us, but he's 31 years old. And people don't understand what 100 million can do for us because, as I've said before, we are a lot more educated now as football fans. Because I think back in the day, when we were buying Pogba, when C-Class buying people for 100, and you're like, damn, 100 million has gone off our budget. It doesn't work like that anymore. It doesn't, because the 100 million, a lot of times, you see people splitting up the deal. The same thing we did for Cunha, like 60 million, we're paying it over 3 years, 2020. So what can we do with the 100 million? We're potentially talking about signing 3 solid players that actually fit the system. So why wouldn't you do that? Question. Obviously, I'm not trying to influence your decision. I'm just giving you all sides. Obviously, you pick what you think. Another thing I want to talk about was Mainoo really quickly. Because the same fans that are saying Manchester United have to keep Bruno, the same people that are saying Amorims is useless for not playing Mainoo. What people don't understand is we potentially cannot see. It's potentially literally picking one at this point because I don't think in this system Mainoo and Bruno can flourish. Because Mainoo isn't a 10, the same way Bruno isn't a 10 in an Amorims system. So Mainoo will have to play back in one of the 6 positions, right? And the number 6 positions. And Bruno doesn't miss games. Like we usually see, nothing makes Bruno miss games. And that's exactly why you saw since Amorims came in, Mainoo doesn't get much playing time because Mainoo isn't strong enough to play beside Bruno in that pivot. And he's not a number 10. He's not the quick winger number 10 that Amorims likes. He's not the inside forward that Amorims likes. In one of the 10s behind the striker. So where does Mainoo actually fit in? Where does he fit in? Because we can't have both. And are you telling me you rather take a chance? Would you rather sell Bruno or would you rather sell Mainoo? Because ultimately, it's a choice to me. You either keep Mainoo or you keep Bruno. And according to me, I think if we sell Bruno, we're probably not going to play. We may get worse. I think we get worse, honestly. But I don't think we get relegated. I don't think we will. But at the same time, we need to get worse till it gets better. And if a club is offering us 100 million now to improve the squad, to improve it for our manager, we have to take the money. It is painful, but it's a logical thing to do because what's the point? Okay, what's the point of offering Mainoo a new contract? Like, what's the point? Because he's not going to play. He's not going to play. We can't start Mainoo and Bruno at the number 6. It's not going to work. We're not putting him in just because he's our best player, but he doesn't fit the system. And we're being offered £120 million to sell him, and we're saying no. Please, next year, as Manchester United fan, do you think we're going to be in Europe next, like the season after? Like, do you think we're going to make Europe next season? No. Bruno is 32. Then what happens next year? So you guys aren't even looking at it from Bruno's perspective. Like, don't you want Bruno to win things? Like, don't you think Bruno would want to win things? Because the way I look at it, if Bruno leaves now, at least he has a chance to actually win something decent somewhere else. Because it's not the next 2 seasons for Manchester United are going to be building years. Bruno is 31. The contract is up in like 3 years. If that contract is up, we now let him go on a free, where we could have gotten 100 million for him. And you guys know that next season, if Bruno doesn't play well, everybody's going to say, oh, we should have sold him. Because that's what happened with Garnacho too. In January, was like, we should have sold him. Look at how he's playing now. It's going to happen. And I understand it might go the other way as well. I totally get that. But we have to decide to rebuild. Next season, we're not going to win anything. I know that Manchester United fans, all of you watching this video know that we're not going to win anything. So you have to rebuild now. Get your signing in. Let him use next year to adapt. And then next 2 years, he's kicking on. And we're progressing. I love Bruno Fernandes. He was my best player at a certain time. And if he leaves Manchester United, it will be sad. But we've lost Ronaldo before. We've seen Beckham leave this club. We've seen players of that caliber leave, who obviously were better than him, by the way. But he wouldn't be the first person to leave us. And ultimately, people that are saying, oh, we can't let Bruno go because if he starts doing better somewhere else. What people don't understand is the only reason why Bruno doing better somewhere else will affect us is if we aren't doing well ourselves. And that's on us. You think anyone would care that McTominay is playing well if we were finishing top? Nobody will give a damn. Nobody cares about if Anthony is doing well if we were playing well ourselves, because we were not playing well. And the only way we play well is if we get players that match with Amorims' system. That's the only way. So those are just my 10 pennies worth of what I think. So you guys get in the comment section. Would you sell Bruno? What price? Like, what was the least price you sell Bruno for? Because I think 60, 70. I think people say they won't even sell it for $1 billion. I'm like, come on. I'll sell it for 80. Because 80 could go a long way in us buying players. Yes, I'm quick announcement though. Tomorrow, we're going to be at that Pepsi thing, the Fan Fest. You know, so if you guys are there, just come up. We'll be interviewing some guys. They're just asking them what they think about the final tomorrow. PSG Inter. So who do you guys think are going to win? I'm thinking PSG gets it done. That's what I think. But yeah, so if you guys see us there, it would be nice. You guys can come up and say hi. Yeah. So on to the next one. We'll see you guys. But as I said, get in the comment section. One, do you want me to start my own channel and start doing things like this? Since Kelechi has apparently abandoned it. But don't worry, he'll be back. But also, on the Bruno thing, what is the least price we take for Bruno? Should Manchester United sell Bruno? Why shouldn't we sell Bruno? That's what you think. See you guys on the next one. Peace.